Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to Founders Boost. A little bit about us. We started in 2012 and have been growing across cities over the years. We've been helping pre-seed startups prepare for accelerators, investment, and revenue, or AIR for short. Some of our other program locations, just so you get a sense, include Chicago, Detroit, Los Angeles, Toronto, Pittsburgh, and a few others. Miami also included there. Now, very important, we believe entrepreneurs can change the world. As data shows, there's a huge chasm for new startups to get across to avoid becoming another, what we call the failed startup number. And there's a few reasons for this, from a mindset and connections to mentors and access to capital. And really, that's where Founders Boost shines, to close the gap and really get promising startups towards AIR and long-term economic impact and growth. So very quickly, to say that we're a pre-accelerator that it's a lot of work is really an understatement. In just 6 weeks, we are going to squeeze you through a quarter of intensive boot camp. And this includes mentorships, workshops, refining your pitch, and pitch deck prep. So whatever you need and wherever you are in your startup life cycle, it's our job to support you and surround you with all the resources that you need to move towards your AIR goal. We aim to cater the program around each company. So know that we try to speak to you as early on as possible so we understand, one, what you're dealing with, what your headaches are, what keeps you up at night, so that come the program, we surround you with all the things you really need and we can help accelerate you as quickly as possible. Here's some examples from our spring cohort from 2021. Amplio, went on to crowdfund through Republic for 1.2 million. INF Care is going through their investor madness period. Heirloom Cloud also exploring the fundraising madness as well. And of course, our fall alumni from 2021. Again, we have different traction-ready companies that have gone through this. And really, and make no mistake, if there's one thing you get from all this, is that Founders Boost is a mentor-driven pre-accelerator program. We bring some amazing professionals across diverse experiences to guide and help founders get unstuck and edging closer past that proverbial startup chasm of doubt. And a huge, huge, huge thank you to our mentors. This is just a sample of the mentors network we are cultivating to help you grow and accelerate. Now, going more big picture, we received more than 4,000 applications, more than 300 startups accepted into the program, and a combined raise of $85 million across the alumni network. We have a strong and impressive alumni community. You are here to be the right kind of busy, and so are we. For those seeking venture capital specifically, our investment portfolio is diverse across many firms. Interesting to note, we do not have any particular preference towards any one accelerator or another. In fact, we don't believe venture capital is the right path for everyone, hence our diverse AIR focus. And speaking on diverse, let's pause for a brief moment to bring up an important point. We can't operate in good faith in the capital of inclusive innovation, Washington, D.C., without being hypersensitive to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We are beyond the mood and proud of our work to reduce barriers for the new majority, and we'll continue to do so because as humans, we still have a long ways to go. And we partner with dope organizations to continue the good work. So you are in good company from the start. So let's break down the programming so you get a better sense of how the 6 weeks actually look like. So each week we have a deep dive into a specific topic and we invite a seasoned expert to go past the basic content fluff and everyday community events for more in-depth discussions and actionable insights that can be quickly applied to your business. We then move into focused pitch coaching because the challenge after developing product market fit and scalable processes is to communicate this win over to investors, to partners, etc. So you get some tough love here with a focus on the love because we want you to crush your pitch when it really matters, like pitching to Richard Branson or Melissa Bradley as some examples. And because every startup has different challenges, we finish with direct one-to-one mentorship for your particular business. The journey to build a successful business is, of course, riddled with many growth challenges. So we put you in weekly direct contact to help you get unstuck and ideally moving right along to the next challenge because challenges never go away. And a big question many of you probably have is, What are we looking for in a business and in your application specifically? So let's share some of those. Always is team, team, team. Are you the founder really to build this and take it forward? Do you have the grit to push past the ups and downs and ambiguity and chaos that's coming? Are you open to feedback? Do you get stuff done? Do you have a well-balanced team? Are you a mix of technical and business backgrounds? Are you passionate about what you are building and looking to change the world? That's what we really, really care about and are looking for. The next thing is market. Is this the right time? Is there a viable path to grow market share? What's the likelihood of it being successful? An example, some of you may be scientists who are starting to develop technology in the lab, and it could take, let's say, 15 years of refining that tech in the lab. That might be too early, but let's have a conversation and figure out where you're at and whether your technology is ready for market and in the program. The next thing we really look at is traction. We tell everyone to reach out to us as soon as possible if you're interested, because we want to see you execute over time. What have you accomplished since we last connected? Put us on your update email so we can see all the things you're accomplishing. You're bringing on a new team member as an example, or you secured a partner, or you're testing the product in a new pilot, or you've generated some revenue, or anything really can be traction. It can even be a failure. It can be, we learned this was the wrong approach and now we're slightly pivoting. Learnings are an exception because it means an advantage over other people. So traction is key. We want to see you can execute. So keep us in the loop. Add us to your update emails. We're there to join the ride with you, and we want to see everything you are accomplishing, especially because an application by itself, isn't going to necessarily communicate the breadth and depth of you and your amazing business. And the last thing really we look at is the solution. So obviously, what are you building? We want to know are you going after a significant problem, and you've developed a solution to that problem. So while startups pivot and iterate a lot, the idea and solution is not nearly as important as the problem you're going after. So as long as you've been focusing your background and your expertise, investing so much of your energy building this, the solution can pivot, obviously, but we want to see that you're going down the right track. And feel free to put any questions or comments in the chat, and we'll get to them as we're going through the Q&A series. Some commonly asked questions, just to get these out of the way. What's our mission or outcomes for FoundersBoost? The program is diverse in its approach to helping ventures grow and scale. Some go on to apply for an accelerator, others want to begin the fundraise gauntlet, and others want to go through the traditional route through good old-fashioned customer acquisition. And really, there's no right way here. The path you decide to take is up to you. We'll be here to guide and connect based on what you decide. Another question, what's our method exactly? So we deliver outcomes through 1, mentorship, 2, focus on priorities, and 3, strategic connections across the program, and even post-program through the Alumni Network. Another question that is often asked, what else is there beyond the 6 weeks? So really, you have 2 capstones, Demo Day and Investor Day, and you have access to the FoundersBoost X community. First, Demo Day, it's evolved actually beyond just the capstone milestone. It's more of a celebration now. Investors and other entrepreneurs look forward to our Demo Day to see the rising founders and ventures that really DC has to offer, because we have a lot of talent. We have investors who we invite to check out the vetted talent and potential deal flow opportunities, because again, some of you are looking for venture capital or you're looking to get into accelerators. We try to bring everybody over to the table to see how awesome you are to hopefully help you during that application or fundraise gauntlet. Second, through the FoundersBoost X community, we host various workshops, optional of course, because let's be real, you're all busy building your business, but the events are aligned with what our startups need to scale up and apply towards growth and scale efforts. Remember, always be the right kind of busy. So we try to provide focused content, community, mentorship, and of course, exclusive perks and discounts. But wow, that's a lot. Thanks so much for coming to this Ask Me Anything meet and greet. This is actually a really big step, because not only are you getting FaceTime with us, but you're also getting to know a little bit about who we are and what we offer. So this is the best time to ask questions if you have any, but also for you to get some time with us as well. So any questions that anybody has, feel free to drop into the chat. How long is this? It's 6 weeks, technically 6-week program. When is this? It's going to be on Tuesdays evening from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. So keep that in mind, especially for our international folks. Let's say you're not in the DC area. You're in Miami, or you're in a different area that doesn't have a Founders Boost, or even in other occurrences, we've had international founders like from Colombia or Mexico. Just keep in mind, it is Eastern time. That doesn't change. What are some of the benefits that you may want to do this if you're international or you're outside the area? The biggest disclaimer here is to know that our biggest network is in the DC area. So when it comes to mentor connections, accelerator connections, VC connections, they're all going to be kind of geographically situated in the area. I think the biggest reason a founder has decided to go into our city from another city is because they're trying to break into the market. If you're in Latin America, then you're trying to break into the US, and DC is one wave point into breaking into the US market. Or you're on let's say you're on the West Coast, you're in California, Oakland, for example. You want to go into the East Coast. DC could be that East Coast entry point. So really, there are a few reasons there. Just know that most of our connections are going to be predominantly in the DC region, East Coast area. Keep that in mind. Any other questions that come to mind, feel free to share in the chat. All right. Well, thank you so much. Next, what you'll want to do is apply by the deadline. So we have our own preferences for the application process. So apply early so we can see your traction and your progress during your application process. And lastly, you're going to go through some interviewing and screening with our team before the final selections are made. So super excited to connect with all of you, look at your awesome ideas because you're all doing amazing stuff, and love to have you in the program. The only reason why we may not be able to accept folks, it's never because of your idea or the quality. It's mostly for two reasons. Capacity, we can only accept so many startups, and usually we have a 1-to-10 ratio. So for every 10 applications, we can accept likely one entrepreneur, where we're getting to the point of 100 applications per cohort. So it's really tough. And again, we focus on quality, not quantity in this program. And of course, the second thing, we don't want to waste your time. If we don't have the right mentors for you based on your industry or whatever growth challenge that you want to focus on that we identified through the interviews, then we're not going to invite you to waste your time. We want to make sure that if you're invited, we have the right people, the right talent, the right network to make sure that you're being the right kind of busy throughout the 6 weeks, because it is an investment of your time. You're not paying for this. There is no equity. There are no fees, but it is your time that can be just as valuable as well for a business owner. So thank you again for joining with us, and we look forward to seeing your applications, and best of luck, and I can't wait to see them. Take care, everyone.